boy?
Oh, he's doing good. Yeah, he's doing really
It's a
good.
big
He's
Negro.
he's he's homesick and I miss him too. But I'm like, you'll be back in July. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be back in July.
Yeah, soon school is off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
6 minutes, my right.
Okay. So yeah, I'll stay out here for a minute.
You going on the night live?
Hmm.
You going on live tonight?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm live right now just to kind of let them know what happened in the courtroom. What's going on, glass half full? How are you? Say hey, y'all. Yeah. So y'all come on in here so I can let y'all know, because there's a lot of people streaming about Nesto's case, but it's only me and one other person who was in the courtroom. Well, really two to be fair. Shout out to Lovin. What's going on? C Green, Justice Mom, Joanna, Cross Country Sir. Yes, I'm back. I'm about to spill all the tea. Right? What's going on? You notice, and you notice in the building, Kia Elder, Green Bites, Melissa Gaze. What's going on? Or is it Gauze? I always get that wrong, Melissa. I'm sorry, Queen. Sonia's Boots. Listen, I done seen somebody else with a ratchet court outfit on. I will post a pic later. She was wearing Sonia's favorite color, too. Nikki D, be that light in the building. One happy wife. The real VB. She said, what happened? Tell her to scoot on. Working this job, hun, at lunch. I'm trying to get me some lunch. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. It's the tomfoolery for real. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame. I see you. Hey, Candy Girl is in the building. Tanya Lee, KK Scorpio. Southside Shot Town said, hey, hey, hey. Making sure she get back safely. Um, Social wife Melissa, I'll see you. Greetings, M. Bahati Kumba. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. Um, I'm about to start walking back to the parking lot and head on home. All right, the lawyers have been dismissed. Okay. Can you woo woo woo? Mr. Wooten stepped out about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago. So I knew once he walked out, I knew it was going to be a wrap because him and his whole team left. And Sean Hoover, the clown, was over there sitting in the corner. And then they called two cases. Really interesting, these other cases that they call. Some things that I'm going to share with y'all that y'all may not realize when y'all plead guilty. Okay, and this is why Nesto was in the situation that he's in. I'm going to get to that in a second. But anyway, after they called two or three cases, maybe four, and they did the plea. Yes, Rich, we are back. I had to literally, like, I couldn't even say goodbye to y'all. Like, I literally had to turn the camera off because there was an issue. I'm gonna tell you what happened in a second. But anyway, yeah, Sean Hoover was like, "All right, Judge, can I go? Can I go?" Um, he was laughing in the key can. I don't know what he was laughing about, but I don't think he's gonna be laughing too tough when he realized that he's not gonna be able to get his client off. All right, my dear. I'm gonna start heading to the parking lot. All right, I'll see you. All right, mamas. So anyway, what happened is, so I found out that there was a snitch in the courtroom. Okay, I had I had my camera up, not up, but I had it on. I had it on. I had it down low, but I had it on. Wasn't like recording a video or anything. I just had the camera on. So Silverback, with her hating ass, all right, gonna tell the court officer. I didn't know this at the time. I found this out. While I was actually in the courtroom from somebody who was sitting in front of her. So she tells the court officer, she's got her camera on, right? And the court officer says, listen, we haven't started yet. You got to put your camera down. So I did. So I lowered it all the way down, right? Y'all know, those of you from earlier, y'all know. Okay, wait a minute. I can't go this way. I forgot. So I lowered the camera all the way down. And, but apparently there was a discussion that happened behind the scenes. So this is what happened. There were several lawyers that had motions that didn't have decisions or, plea agreements or whatever it was. So Judge Dunaway had all the lawyers that had, pending motions to meet him in his chambers. So that's what they were doing. They were back in the chambers. They were, having a discussion, a key, whatever they were doing. And I got to stop for a second. It's hot out here, y'all. It's like 85 degrees. Anyway, so they go in the back, and when they come back, I'm totally expecting that we would have gotten a decision on the motion. So those of you who took the poll that said, will Nesto plead guilty, not guilty, or neither, because the lawyers are still going back and forth, child, please, they still going back and forth. All right? They are still going back and forth. We did not get a decision that was announced to us. Okay? I spoke to Dennis Byron earlier, and he seemed to think that the judge should have had that conversation out in the open. Why were they back in the chambers? I don't know. Okay? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a traditional reporter or journalist. I don't know how that goes. But I know that they didn't do that. They had a private conversation in chambers. And so the status is, we don't know if the defense's motion to suppress the vehicle evidence was accepted and approved, or if it's going to be thrown out, or if the state is going to withdraw. We still don't know. Y'all, they still going back and forth. So that was that. Then the reason why I had to turn, sorry about the noise, hang on. That part, right? The reason why I had to turn I had to shut everything down is because all of a sudden, Judge Dunaway, he's like, okay, we got reporters in the courtroom. So I stood up, Pam Esquire, we call her Pam, right? Pam, for short. Her cameraman stood up. I walked up, I gave the judge only in Atlanta, okay? I gave the judge my documents, and he says, oh, well, this says October 4th of 2024. I said, no, if you read it, it says the dates that I'm requesting for the Rule 22 is October 2nd, 2024, comma, the entire trial and sentencing, right? It's written on there twice. And that's what he signed off on, okay? So he's like, well, no, because we had this problem before, and apparently I'm going to have to do something about these reporters and media that are, having Rule 22s and they're not abiding by it. I said, but wait a minute. It is written. It is documented. You signed off on it. Apparently he just signed the Rule 22 and never read it, okay? Forget the fact that it took me months to get that Rule 22, like something like 6 months. It's never supposed to take that long, okay? And I had to put in 2 separate requests because the first one just went unanswered. Anyway, what I think happened is that he didn't read the Rule 22, okay? At the time, he was not expecting that the trial would go on this long. He didn't read it, all right? And now he's realizing, oh, wait a minute. I didn't know that I agreed that, you could just continue on with, because I told him, I don't know, if anyone, well, you wouldn't have heard me, but I said, listen, I have been here. This is not the first hearing that I've been to. I've been to several hearings after that, and there was never an issue. Pam gets up and she says the same thing. Here's how it works. You can write whatever you want to write on a Rule 22. It is a form, right? But you can add your date, you can add information. Now, the judge has the right to cross certain things out. So, for example, if the judge says, listen, you can have audio, but not video, right? They will cross video out. You can use a camera, but you can't use a cell phone. Or you can use a cell phone, but you can't use a laptop. Do you guys get what I'm saying? They can amend the Rule 22. No. Mr. Judge Dunaway over here is trying to pull a fast one. It's loud over here, sorry. He's trying to pull a fast one. He did not read the Rule 22 apparently and just signed it, and now that he's realizing it. So what's happening now is that he's going to have some kind of a hearing. Even Pam got up there and said, okay, listen, I know it's loud. I'm so sorry, y'all. Said, listen, I have the exact same thing. I was getting the Rule 22 every hearing, and then I was told that, y'all didn't want that because that's extra work for the judge. That's a lot of extra paperwork to have to sign off on. And the documentation says that it has to be in at least 24 hours. So imagine if someone puts in a Rule 22 a day or two, just 2 days before. It's a lot of work. But she said I was told that that's not what you wanted and that I could just do it for the duration. So it was written on my Rule 22, the last one that I got. And he says, oh, this is also from 2024. I don't remember what. Are you quite finished? It's a lot of buses. Listen, this is downtown, right? Before I got out here, it was quiet. The second I turned on the live, now I got every MARTA bus. Okay, they go to MARTA bus. There it is. Every MARTA bus in town. Anyway, so she's like, listen, I have the exact same thing. Okay, what's going on, Pramana woman? How you doing, Queen? Scorpio vibes in the building. Bible lady. I see you. BANK, I see you. Okay. I forgot what the B stands for, but I know it's Auntie No Kids. I know that. Black Auntie. I think it's Black Auntie No Kids. Anyway, Black Auntie. So what had happened was, Pam is like, I got the exact same thing. This is what I was told. I was told by the court to do this. Now you're saying that there's a problem? And I said, well, Judge, we're not trying to break any rules. We're trying to be efficient, right? We understand that it takes time to complete these Rule 22s. It is not unheard of. Judges typically prefer that you do a Rule 22 for a specific period of time if you know that this is not going to be one off or two off. Let me tell you what I think happened. I think that Judge Dunaway at the time did two things. He didn't read or at least mine. I can only talk about mine. He did not read my Rule 22. And then those of you who are members, it's posted. I posted the Rule 22 in members. It's up there. Okay? Hey, how are you? I just blacked out my government name. Y'all need to know all of that. I'm Wisdom's daughter. That's all y'all need to know. But anyway, so that's the first thing. He didn't read it and just signed it. This is what I believe happened. And he did not think at the time that this was going to be drug out this long. Remember, Nesto was supposed to go to trial in June. Then he was dealing with the divorce. Then we had all these motions, okay? This is Hoovie's fault, okay? Sean Hoovie, Mr. Hoof, is your fault with all of these BS motions. Motion to suppress, a gag order. Hey, cousin. She said, hey, cousin, at the only black but not bitter. I know that's right. Sean Hoover put in all these additional motions. A motion to suppress the media, a media gag order, because Nesto's behind was going. And it's Silverback's fault, too. You know, you messed us up. Got this man coming on your channel spilling his guts. You know he shouldn't have done that. You and your sister wife, Sonia, the side chick, over here exploiting this man for some content. Okay? If you knew how to report on stuff and how to be interesting, you wouldn't need to manufacture content and you wouldn't need to exploit people for content. Okay? There's a lot of stuff going on out here that's interesting. Okay? What we got? We got a construction truck right behind me. Okay? When you're a good content creator, I can make that shit real interesting. Okay? I can make y'all want to run down here just to see what the hell is going on with this truck. That's what a good content creator does. Not be chewing up all in your okay? And just pausing and don't say, hold on, guys, and picking up phones and doing all of the foolishness that we be doing on some of these other channels. Anyway, but getting back to the courtroom. So, you know, I spoke out. I said, listen, you signed it. It's there. It's written. No, it only has one date. Did you read what it says after the date? It says the entire trial and sentencing. You signed off on it. You didn't cross it out. Okay? So you cannot now you can't say, well, I know I signed a prenuptial agreement, but now, you know, I don't want it no more. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that. I asked him if I would be able to film for today, and he told me no. He told Pam the same thing. That's when I went to my camera and I shut it down. So, Silverback was only concerned with getting her numbers up. Hear me roar, it's 74. She always concerned with trying to get her numbers up. You know? And once upon a time, she had better content, okay? She had at least, she's always been weird and quirky, but at least, you know, people had a reason to really want to be on her channel. But now, nobody's interested. YSL is over. People were coming for the content, not necessarily for her, right? As a content creator, the best thing you can have is people who show up for you. I can sing the ABCs and one, two, threes, okay? And y'all will show up rather than you're just showing up for a particular story. And that's what's happening with her. That's what happens with some people, all right? Make sure y'all hit the like button. Oh, wow, it's 472 of y'all up in here, okay? So I'm bringing it to you live because but they were not in the courtroom, okay? So I don't not really sure exactly what they're reporting on, or they just be giving their opinion about what they think is going on. But I'm telling you what had happened was, he Judge Dunaway said that he's going to have a hearing about these Rule 22s. So Sylvia, good job, okay? Thank you, cause you done it up for everybody, okay? You done messed it up for everybody, okay? Houston Foodie, yeah, she played godly with a little G, okay? But she ain't nothing but a heathen, okay? Like what, for what purpose? We know that we've had issues. Now, here's the thing. She didn't have her camera. You know, she bring that damn camera everywhere. If I'm not mistaken, she's having issues now because of her foolery even getting Rule 22s. And so I don't think she has a Rule 22 anymore for the Nesto case because, to be honest with you, even from the first hearing, I've never seen her with the camera in the courtroom for Nesto. I don't think so. So I don't think she has one. I think she's burnt too many bridges. All right. Y'all wanted to know what she was wearing, okay? Y'all was somebody said they OCD is at an all-time high, and the ADHD is at an all-time high. She was wearing her staple black dress, okay? This is her typical one-piece sleeveless black dress that she wears with like a knit uh, pullover sweater or something like that. Okay, she had on some flats with a little bow and her hair sitting up on top of her head. I told y'all earlier, I wasn't even trying to be mean. She really looked like she just stepped out of halfway. She looks nuts. And as I said it earlier, when you claim to be a professional court journalist or vlogger, whatever you want to call it, you can do better than that. You can come to court. Look, I don't care if you wore the same suit that you wore when she thought her trial was starting, her criminal trial, for all these misdemeanors and felonies that she's been charged with, okay, for doing for committing crimes against another content creator, okay? Because apparently when you are a godly content creator that got, scriptures and all type of stuff and praise the Lord in your background in your house when you're on YouTube, apparently, that's what Christians do. They commit crimes against one another, okay? Well, for her anyway. Scorpio Vibe said, that be irking me when they do that. That is so unprofessional and rude when they are picking up the phone and pausing in the middle of the content. Listen, we, think things can happen. Okay. I'm not just going to answer my phone for the sake of answering my phone. I get calls all the time when I'm on live. If it's not my son or my mama or someone who has some tea that I need to give to y'all, there's no reason for me to answer. There's no reason for me to answer. And my family typically knows when I'm live and they're not going to call me when I'm live. I think some people just do that because they want to look important. So, can someone tell me what happened with the case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I didn't get to see Nesto. Side hen wasn't here. All right. All right. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm gonna walk up the street because I have asthma. And matter of fact, I'm not gonna walk up the street. Let me just walk into this parking lot because I'm about to get my car anyway. Hopefully, I can find a quiet place to talk to y'all. But these guys are out here smoking, and you ain't gonna have my lungs all messed up. So what's going on with the case is that we still don't have an answer as to if the judge has accepted the defense's motion to suppress vehicle evidence, or if the state is going to withdraw, or if he's going to not approve that motion. We don't know. The only decision Judge Dunaway has made in this case is to dismiss the gag motion or order that the defense tried to place on media, which legally he cannot do. Right? You cannot gag the media. If you're in the bushes, hit the like button. I love it. So, what happened with Sylvia? Sylvia was doing what silverbacks do, okay? Being jealous, beating on her chest, and just, doing the most, all right? She mentioned something about me having my phone on or whatever the case may be, and it just opened up a whole freaking can of worms, Okay, so now nobody can have a Rule 22 right now. I'm going to go through the appropriate measures to reapply for another Rule 22. It may or may not get denied. Um, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if this is what he's now saying, because basically he pulled an audible. Before it was, ooh, oh damn, somebody done just messed up their real nice car. Hold on a second. I'm in a parking lot, y'all. Let me see if y'all can see this. Do y'all see that bent? Somebody just did that. In what looked like a Mercedes Benz. Somebody just messed up their good Mercedes Benz. You see? Anyway. So Nesto didn't get to plea. He wasn't even there. If he was in the back. They called this so this is what I wanted to tell y'all real quick. So when the police read you the Miranda rights, they say you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand these rights? What they don't tell you is that you have to qualify, at least in the state of Georgia. I didn't know that. You have to qualify for a public defender. So what happens if you don't qualify according to their standards, but you still can't afford an attorney? The judge said, well, if you don't qualify, then you're going to have to figure some shit out. You're going to have to figure it out. If you don't qualify, you're going to have to either represent yourself, hire somebody, and if you can't hire somebody, you just going to have to figure it out on your own. I ain't never heard such a thing. But listen, y'all, make sure, especially if y'all new over here or if y'all ain't been here in a while, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and the like button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. I cannot do it without y'all. I absolutely need every single one of y'all. All right, so just double check whenever the live does end. Make sure that y'all did hit that like button and that you are subscribed on the channel. All right, because I'm always coming with the foolery and the shenanigans and the tea, and y'all don't want to miss it. So I'm gonna start walking a little bit up to get to my car. But yeah, I can't believe this person just did this. He was driving a nice vehicle. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but because I heard it. I heard the pop. Man, you just messed up your nice luxury vehicle. That's gonna cost a pretty penny. All right, I'm good here for a minute. I'm in the elevator bank. So here we go. That's a good lighting. So that's where we are. That's where we are with Nesto. We are no further than we were months ago. Okay? His trial still has not officially started. I think I can put my glasses back on now so I can see. His trial has not officially started. Okay? Now we're gonna go to war over these Rule 22s because of Silverback's hating ass. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I heard, I don't know if it's true or not because I haven't investigated, but I heard that she doxed another content creator again last night. I heard that I believe it was Dennis Byron that she doxed. So we still doxing people, Sylvia? That's what we doing? You still doxing people. Because doxing victims in Ernest Williams' case wasn't enough, right? Putting trackers and stalking other content creators and putting GPS trackers, air tags on their vehicle and going to jail and sitting in jail for a whole doggone week all through your birthday and Valentine's Day. That wasn't enough? That wasn't enough. Nesto is where he is because he did not know when to stop, okay? You need to sit your ass down somewhere. Because guess what? Karma is coming for you. You will not escape it. All this foolishness, and then you want to throw the Lord into it like you some kind of a Christian? Girl, bye. I can't. I can't. This is why people don't want to go to church in the first place, because of people like her. Okay? You're still doxing people. What did this man do to you that you had to dox him? What did he do? Dox him for what? Ain't nobody really talking about you like that. I'm mentioning it now because she was in court. I ain't dragged you lately. You're not relevant right now. We're trying to focus on the real content, not you. You're a content creator. You're not supposed to be content. Anyway, What's going on, Tehran? What's going on, Gen 313? I see y'all all in the building. If they were expecting such great news today, they would not care about the media. And Hoover, he came out the back laughing and kikiing and ha. I don't know what he was laughing at. But even if he thinks that was a win, because first of all, there was nothing to record anyway. Even if I had my camera rolling from the time I walked into the courtroom to the time that I left, which they have, when the case is called is when you can start recording your video, right? So even if I had hit record from the first time that I came in, okay, and I didn't record today. Even if that had happened, there was nothing to record. Nothing happened. They called a whole bunch of other cases, okay? Now, what they say when you plead guilty is that if you have any other charges or indictments or cases after this guilty plea, that the fact that you're pleading guilty now, it can come to bite you later. They can use that as compounding evidence. That is what happened with Nesto. Nesto has been committing crimes for 40 years, okay? And he pled guilty to a lot of them. So they use that to build their case to say, listen, this is not somebody who just got caught up or, 100 people lied on him, right? Because 100, I'm one person. I can't be the liar, right? It can't be me. It got to be 100 people lying on me, right? And throwing charges on me. So he had a criminal history, and that's what they tell you. Do you understand what you're doing when you plead guilty? The Mexican dude, he might get deported. They told him, well, listen, if you don't get deported, you got to take a DUI class, a defensive driving class, because he's running through stop signs and hitting people. Got a history of driving with DUIs. All right? And you're an undocumented. Bruh, really? Or even if he is legally able, I shouldn't say undocumented. I think he works for a truck company, so I guess he's sponsored. But he's going to lose his immigration status is out the door. I said, ICE is probably waiting for him as soon as he come out the courtroom. He probably going to go out the courtroom, and before he gets to that van, ICE is going to be there waiting on him to take him to Louisiana or wherever the heck Trump is taking people these days. I felt bad. But yeah, it's when you plead guilty, you're letting them know, listen, you get in any more trouble later, we're going to use this guilty plea, we're going to hold it against you. So, very interesting. And that's why this is so challenging for Nesto, is because he's been in this kind of trouble so many times, right? I robbed 100 people, but I didn't rob the 101st person. That wasn't me. The other 100 people. And, and depending on who you talk to, I may not have done that. That's Nesto for you. Yeah, so, I don't know. Maybe it was a win for Sean Hoover, the fact that we didn't get to record. But y'all, I promise y'all, there wasn't nothing to see. There really wasn't nothing to see. It really wasn't. Okay? Tell the Truth said, yes, I said that months ago, that when they first tried to get the media shut out, Hoover listens to what Sonia says. In fact, he repeats some of her verbiage at times. Sure do. Sure do. What's going on, Annie James? Sean's fat thighs. Hoover also begged to ban them Rule 22s because he was tired of being laughed at. It was more for fat thighs than Nesto. That's funny. What I want to know is, do he have more than one suit? Because he had on the same suit that's in the thumbnail, the same suit that he had on. See, that's what it is. He's tired of seeing his face in these thumbnails. And remember, he is a lawyer. He's got colleagues. So his colleagues is clowning, right? I mean, I'm a content creator, and we clown. We clown each other. People clown me. I clown other people. So his colleagues is clowning. We need to call in the big dogs. We need to email Law and Crime and Court TV and petition them to stream the case. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'm a phone a friend, all right? We got a content creator in our circle that is a documented journalist, okay? He's I hate to use the word real journalist because technically we're all journalists, but he is the typical standard, journalist. He's a what's the word he used? I'll just say documented journalist, right? Dennis just said that Silverback false. It was Silverback's fault for snitching. It was. It was. I didn't know that she did that until somebody else told me as I was coming out the courtroom. Because everything was fine. And in this tall, dark, and handsome bucket of hot chocolate in a uniform with a gun on his waistband and a bulletproof vest was like, excuse me, ma'am, you, that one. Long hair dreads, huh? You talking about me? Are you talking about me? Anyway, all was well, and then he started calling me out, just out of the blue. So, again, I didn't insist. I was told that she did this, okay? I was told. And the person who told me is one of the Wisdom family, okay? She subscribes to many channels within this circle, and she has no reason to lie, okay? She's a very sweet person, right? She came from a long way to be in that courtroom, and what reason would she have to lie, right? That's the thing. We don't have to lie on Silverback. There's no lying her for what? You don't need to. She tell enough lies on her own. There's no reason. There's no point to lie on her. So, but that's don't worry. Silverback will be in a cell next to Nesto soon. And I don't wish that. I don't wish that on her. I don't. But you can only keep doing what you're doing for so long before it's gonna catch up to you. That's what happened with Nesto. So I don't wish bad on her. All right. I don't particularly care for her as a person or a content creator. She can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. But I don't wish for any brother or sister to be in a jail cell. But at the end of the day, you do the crime. There you go. My opinion, Hoover needs to be careful. Sonya will start some new with him, and it will not be good. I don't think he's going to win this case. Okay? And I'm going to say one last thing before I go. Say one last thing. Sean Hoover put in a request for a leave of absence back in March. In April, it went on the docket that Nesto was having his hearing today. Judge Dunaway did not accept his leave of absence, which in my opinion was a stall. He was stalling for time because he didn't know. I believe, my opinion, Wisdom's daughter's opinion, I don't believe he knew that Nesto obtained that truck, that F-350, by fraudulent means, by using his wife's social security number and fraudulently signing her name electronically without her knowledge. Okay, he got it illegally without her knowledge, and she's willing to testify to that. I don't think he knew that part, right? So he trying to get. Now, at some point, I don't know if he learned it when we learned it or if he heard about it sooner than that. But he tried to get a leave of absence because he's got a lot of other cases. And he has, not a lot of other cases, but he has one particular case that was a major conflict. This is a big case. But it's interesting because Nesto was a big case. Hoover, it can't be, Hoovy. I'm going to call him Hoovy. Hoovy, it can't be both, okay? It cannot be that Nesto is a high-profile case, and that's why you don't want the media involved because you think it's going to taint the jury pool, right? It can't be that, but you got another case that's bigger. Which one is it? Which one is it, Hoovy? Because it can't be both, right? But it was not honored because his ass was in court today. So whatever tactic he was trying to use to stall for time, it didn't work. It didn't work. So nice try, Hoovy. You have to come up with something else, baby, because let me see. The 13th juror said the tell judge she has personal interest in the case and is interfering. They know that. Let me tell you something. Fulton County can't stand this lady. She has talked so much crap about the prosecution, the state, this lawyer, that lawyer. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay, hold on, y'all. 1, I guess they got tired of me standing there talking, so they got machinery going. I'm in the elevator. That's what my grandmama used to say. My grandmama used to say, I'm in the elevator. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm in the elevator. Um, oh, it's stinking here too. It smell like somebody peed. Mm. Yeah, this remind me of the Lower Manhattan projects and my projects. All right, now let me see if I found my car or not. Okay, there we go. Because I'm good for that. I will park in one of these parking lots and completely forget where I parked my car. All right, listen, y'all. I need every one of y'all to hit that like button. I got 578 up in here. It was up to 600, and I got 249 likes. All right. If you like me, if you're appreciating the content, if you're being entertained, hit that like button for your girl. I'm not one to draw big for likes. Y'all already know. So I'm not going to, I ain't even going to mention it no more. That was the last time. It's just a gentle reminder. And y'all, I'm hungry. So I'm about to get some lunch. Okay, I'm about to get some lunch. And, okay. Now it's quiet. Now it's quiet, and I have a moment to breathe, y'all. I gotta get back on my walking pad, y'all. I am so out of shape. All right. I barely made it up the hill to get from the parking lot to the courthouse. That ain't how that go. Can't wait for her to get her karma. The lady is insane. They talking about Silverback. So you're saving this. So you are saying this is over for today? Yes, Annie James. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for today. It's a wrap for today. I'm not going to say necessarily that time was wasted, because any opportunity that I have to give y'all any bit of information, boots on the ground, I'm going to do it. But y'all know I live over an hour away. This is not like, 20-minute, 30-minute drive. It took me an hour and 12 minutes to get here with traffic. But it's okay. It is okay, because that's the cost of being nosy. Exactly. They're fake and messy. Yeah, Silverback was definitely being messy today. But it's not going to work. That's y'all going to continue to hear me say that. Them tactics are not going to work. So try something else, okay? Because that one didn't work. Black Swan, how you doing, Queen? She said, no worries. Sylvia already knows where her eternity will be, so she's simply trying to take as many as she can with her. Sonia is already an atheist. Sonia's confused. She don't know what she wants. But Nesto said, no, I need to fast from you. I can't be around no atheists right now. I need somebody that's got faith. That's why he called his prayer warrior. Let me see. Demure and mindful. Hoover sounds just as childish as Sonia. He is. He is. And he's young. Okay? He's young. I am significantly older than Hoover. Okay, I just look this good, but I am much older than I look. Okay, I got all the gray hair to prove it. I ain't gonna show y'all because I'm about to color my hair soon, but yeah, I am much older than I look. And Hoover is like a big ass kid. Okay, big ass kid. Very, very sorry y'all, I'm getting like some weird light. Very petty and tit for tat. Fighting the media and still no progress in his case. Exactly. He laughing now, but we gonna get the last laugh. All right? And it's not us. You're not hurting me. What the hell do I care if I can't film in the courtroom? That's not gonna stop me from going live and bringing y'all the tea. I know how to tell a story. So, I mean, what did you really do? Nothing. Sonya already let Hoover slide in the DM. She'll do anything for her pimp. Nasty Nesto. The 13 juror said the dumb leading the dumb. What's going on? Real VV said, I think this was the good news to stop the media from being able to record, but they don't realize the CCs take excellent notes and hilarious reenactments. Okay? Pammy Pam is a good actress, and I've been acting since I was 8 years old. Okay? So listen, I can play Silverback, Sonia, and a Nesto. Okay, I can play Sean Hoover and a Wooten. Okay, listen, we'll be fine. They are wasting too much time on Sonia's shenanigans instead of investigating the facts in this case. Part of me feels a little bad for Nesto only for this reason, because his case should have went to trial. He still, a year later, has no idea what his fate is going to be. He has no idea if he is gonna see the light of day. If he is going to get out, probably not. Is he going to get 30 years, 10 years, 25 years, 40? Like, it's can you imagine? You're almost certain that you're going to do time, but you just don't know how much. And you don't know. And so while Sonia is derailing the case, and Hoovy is being tit for tat, going back and forth. If you will put the same energy that you put into going after content creators and media, if you will put that same energy into defending Nesto, maybe this man might have a chance. That's why Trump is changing the law for truck driving. Oh, Renee is being messy. Renee, Renee, you were too much. You got me choking up in her. You got me choking, Queen. She said that's why he's changing the law. They have to be able to speak English. And listen, he did need an interpreter, okay? So I'm not gonna fight with Donald Trump on that one. But I'm like, look here, for real. Like we need to be able to, we need to speak English to drive a truck. It's not enough that we can read English, that we can write English. Well, I guess some people say, well, if you can read English and write English, how come you can't speak it? But really, you can, they drive trucks in all different countries, as long as they can read them signs, okay? But this man's problem is that he it's not that he can't read the sign. Do y'all know that stop signs look the same in every country? Every country that uses stop signs, they are all red. They are an octagon, okay? And they have the word stop in their language in white letters. Did y'all know that? Yeah. Every country that uses stop sign, they all look the same. And so no matter what country you go to, you can go to France. You don't speak French, but you're going to know that's a stop sign. Yeah, well, I don't know. And I think he hit a cop. I think he blew a stop sign and actually hit an officer. Like he hit a police vehicle. And then he tried to run. This is only prolonging his jail time, in my opinion. This is the slowest speedy trial I ever watched. Oh, just peeking. I love it. Let me just screenshot that, okay? I love it. The slowest speedy trial ever. That's a part of Nesto's karma, because he liked to do everything fast. He talked fast. He want a speedy trial. He want to talk over you, and no, Shirley was not there. No, ma'am. She's only gonna come if she's called to testify, and that won't be until the trial has not started, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The trial still has not started. It still has not started. I wonder why Silverback is not putting this much energy into her own case, or better yet, her own daughter Ruth's case. Facts. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Facts. This trial is taking forever. He didn't want us seeing him in that tight suit. Demure. Pecan 10 said it's just sad how long folks will go to get nothing. Dennis is coming out of the court now. He wasn't at the court. I don't know how he's coming out the court now. He wasn't at the court. He wasn't there. It was me, Pammy Pam, and Sylvia. All right. So he wasn't there. And I talked to him on the phone a couple of times. He wasn't at the court, so I don't know what he's talking about. I don't listen, no shade, but I don't understand. Well, you know what? Let me backtrack. What I was gonna say is I don't understand how you reporting on something that's happening live and you're not there. Right? What are you reporting on if you're not there? But I guess, if you get it what you do, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. And Ho saying his old convictions can't be used against him. Just clown AF. She's clown AF. She's dumb AF. Okay, she's silly AF. She's stupid AF. She's ignorant AF. She's messy AF. She's bitter AF. I can keep going on and on and on. She's jealous AF. Okay. Anyway. Was his hearing canceled? No, beautifully made. It wasn't canceled. It wasn't canceled. It's just that nothing got done. I don't know what the conversation was in the chambers, other than it had to do something with media, I'm sure. But we didn't get anything. We didn't get anything. And Pam, she doesn't live in Georgia. She has to fly here. You know what I'm saying? I know she was tight because this is like the second, at least the second, maybe the third time that she's flown here for this foolery. And the thing is, they didn't even say, okay, the judge knew that he wasn't going to get to Nesto's case. He didn't even say anything. It was when Hoovy said, well, Judge, can I be dismissed? When a lawyer asks the judge if he or she can be dismissed, that means that whatever's happening with their case at that particular time is done. At that particular time, it will not. It's not moving any further. So when they say, "Can I be dismissed?" they're leaving the courtroom, right? You can't have your client in the courtroom without you. So if you're being dismissed, you can go, right? You can leave. You can go. So as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, it's over. As a matter of fact, Silverback was the first one out the courtroom. I mean, literally, as soon as Judge Dunaway said, yes, you can go, I mean, Pam hadn't leaned forward yet to prepare to stand up. I hadn't even grabbed my bag. And she was already out the door. But I caught her at the elevator. And I got a good look. That's why I was able to tell y'all what she was wearing. She was wearing her staple black dress with that, with like a cardigan. What do you call that? A bolero, whatever sweater, some kind of sweater. She looked bummy, whatever. For a case, not to report it. Like, I wouldn't put too much thought into this because are BS and Nesto like crazy. They are making sure Nesto feels like he got the best possible defense before they find him guilty and sentence him to 40 years. There you go. There you go. I hear you, Jay. I feel the same way, Jay. January Butterfly said, will we know something today? Nope. Nope. You sure won't. Sorry. What's going on, Miss Lady D? I said Lady D, Miss Lady. She said, I agree. Hoover knows Wooten will eat him alive, and we're going. I can't. You know what? And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Wooten to shut Hoovy down. I am waiting to see magic in the courtroom because Hoover is a great attorney. He's a great lawyer. I think Nesto don't want people seeing him plead down because he's supposedly not going to words come back to bite him. Yep. Hey, unique girl, what's going on? I see you, Ebony Woods, and everybody. So, yeah, so there is no movement on this case right now. We still need a decision. I gotta roll down this window, it's hot. We still need a decision from Judge Dunaway as to whether or not they're going to suppress the vehicle evidence or they're going to admit all the evidence that was procured. We still don't know. That is where we are at. We still don't know. Okay? Still don't have a clue. I need my glasses so I can read. Now she and Frail Tail can laugh about it later. Two immature AARP receiving biddies. Jam, baby girl. I'm so tired of coming on here live and telling y'all ain't nothing happened in the case. What happened is Silverback happened. Okay. Silverback was telling them about my camera and the two could be two separate issues, to be honest with you. One may not have anything to do with the other, but I find it real hard to believe that she says something to the officer about my camera, and then after all the lawyers and stuff are in the back and obviously Hoover has an opportunity to speak to Judge Dunaway, then they come out later and say, oh yeah, we got media in the room, what's going on? And the issue is that me and Pam both have Rule 22s that specifically state that we're requesting to film and to record audio and all that for the duration of the trial. Mine was from October 2nd, 2024, because that was the first pre-trial, not pre-trial, but his plea hearing, okay? But it specifically states in the documents, entire trial and sentencing. Pam also, now she had been getting Rule 22s every hearing, but she also, according to her, and she told Judge Dunaway, hey, listen, y'all, I was instructed to, to not do this every month, but just have it for the duration. And she's like, it's documented as well. Okay. I showed him my Rule 22 where it's written and he signed it. But he over here trying to backtrack. He was being a butthead. Okay. He was being a butthole today. But anyway, it don't matter. Okay. Because Nesto wasn't even there today. So that's really all that happened. And then we sat there while they called other cases. Wooten left. Hoover stood up and was like, can I go? There you go. So I know I've repeated that like 5 or 6 times, but some of y'all just coming into the room. What's going on, Kaz? So if his defense was solid, then get on with it. No empathy for Nesto, but he should be eager to defend himself instead of staying locked up. So he's trusting his lawyers. Black Swan said, I don't wish bad on her either, but I do pray she will reap what she sows. Baby, you ain't even got the praise in the Bible. She will. What the word of God said, my word will not return to me void. God said his word will not return to him void. It won't come back empty. Okay? It won't come back empty-handed. So she will reap what she sows. She will. It may not be in the way that we expect. It may seem like she gets away with all this foolishness and she could end up dying of a horrible death or some horrible disease or cancer or something like that. It don't always come back the way that you put it out. Jam said, damn, I need to do the replay. Gabagool, what? So anyway, but that's what it is. All right. That's where we're at. We are no further, y'all. We are no further. All right. What's going on, my Ty? Willie J. Shonda, I see you. So yeah. We're gonna have to keep checking the docket to see if there was a response. Just like how the motion to suppress the media was denied, there will be a denial or an acceptance. There will be something regarding this motion. So I anticipate that over the next couple weeks, maybe, or 3 weeks, whatever, there should be something on the docket about what is the result of this motion, because the trial cannot proceed until they come to a conclusion on the motion. And that is pretty much where it's at. So, all right, y'all. Illegal paralegal said when he sees that he can't defend Nesto because he lies and doesn't help his team fight for him. Yeah, you can't lie to your lawyer. You really can't. And on that note, somebody's car is going off, and that's loud. And I'm not going to compete with a horn going on. So I see all of y'all. I'm seeing all the comments. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.